Welcome to week 3 of Kappas Coaches Corner on your sports network, YSN Live. This week we're joined with 3-0 head football coach Chris Kappas of the Louisville Leopards. Coach, congratulations on a win last week.
Thank you. Another good one. We'll take wins however we get them.
Absolutely. It was a defensive battle. We're going to dive into that defensive battle. Before we get into the game and enjoy all the parts of that game, let's talk a little bit about where we're at with the football program this week. Talking about, just like we do every week, all the levels of the program, what the results were. I know some teams didn't play last week, but then also getting into who's playing this week and where they're playing.
Yeah, last week, 8th grade, they played Hoover, and they didn't win the game. But again, some good things came out of the game. You saw some good individual performances, and those kids are coming back with great attitudes and battling every single day. And they're going to be getting some kids back health-wise that they've been missing dearly. So, they're still looking to get it turned around there. And then we were off freshmen in JV this week, so no games there. But we had our second week of Little Leopard football on Sunday, and another great weekend, great weather, great turnout. And some really impressive games and plays going on in those games. So
I noticed there's some teams putting up a lot of points in Little Leopard.
Yeah.
So they're finding a way to get
it's good to see.
That's exciting. And then we'll be back there. I think that's week 3 for them coming up this week. So that's a midpoint of the season for them. So get down to the stadium on Sunday and check them out. We have a Touchdown Club coming up this week. It's Touchdown Club meeting at Bud's this week.
I believe so, 7 o'clock on Thursday.
And everybody's welcome to attend, whether you're a member or not.
Yeah, we're trying to get as many people there as we can to come see what we do and join or enlist themselves to help out in some way.
Fantastic. All right, so let's get to the game. We had quite the defensive battle to open up the game. I enjoy a defensive battle. I'm sure you do too. I know you like to score points, but a lot of tough plays and as I'm watching it, I'm looking at very stingy Leopard defense, along with some great punting that always marries well with defense, field position stuff. Coach, tell us a little bit about the game.
Yeah, again, it's we always want to play good defense and play great special teams, and we got to play the field position battle, and then get some timely plays from our offense. When you got a good defense, you can always kind of lean on the defense in some games, and then there's going to be other games where we might not be getting stops, and the offense is going to have to pick it up. So that it's complementary football is what it's all about, and you can win close games like that, but. Defensively, I thought we played pretty well. They came out and showed some things that they hadn't done a ton of before, so and expanded their packages so that they were able to sustain some drives, but we were able to get some timely turnovers to get those drives stopped. But it was a physical football game. They played really, really well on defense. They got a big physical front and linebacking core that gave us some problems, and they did some things that we hadn't quite seen before too. So again, making some adjustments and getting one big play out of those adjustments was a huge thing. But then talking about punting, that we had a couple really good punts. One that notably went out inside the 5-yard line there, where Gabe kind of bled out the rollout punt style that we have there, and
I think a lot of people were sitting on the edge of their seat at that point. Is Gabe going to run? Is he going to throw? Or is he going to punt it?
I was surprised he didn't run it, but that was a good safe play for him, and it pinned them back deep, and they got a good drive out of that, which when you make a team run a bunch of plays, sometimes they can't help themselves but try to take the shot, and we kind of were able to capitalize on the throw there and get the interception.
I thought you brought up some really good points there. I thought Northwest defense played really well. I felt like Louisville's offense did a lot of things well, but I thought they were a tough defense to play against.
Yeah, and sometimes think, well, you say, well, we didn't do this or we didn't, like they were really good on defense. And their kids were fast and they were physical, and filling holes quick that collapsed. It looked like they were there quickly, and then they kind of went away fast and kind of made us run laterally, and they have good team speed too. And
They do, and offensively, they gave you some things that you just don't see. 3 backs in the back.
Yeah, 3 backs and just really trying to run it right at us. So we had to make some adjustments there at halftime, and we came back out in the second half. They got back into that, which they rightfully should, because they were moving the ball pretty efficiently on that, and we were able to get a stop there, and it kind of got them out of doing that, and then we got the lead, so they kind of had to spread it out a little bit more.
Yeah, let's get into the film. We got some film for our viewers today. We're going to go through a few clips with Coach. We'll start off with this beginning of the game, this interception by Candle, which, again, this just goes back to the defensive play.
Yeah, this is, Anderson's such a smart player and, former defensive back himself that's moved down to linebacker. And we kind of got the coverage mixed up there, rotating the wrong way there. So we didn't have a player back in the middle of the field in cover 3. And he kind of saved our bacon there, coming from linebacker back to go high point that football.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's a linebacker making a play.
Yeah.
35, 40 yards off the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
That was fantastic.
That turned potentially 7 points for them into a turnover for us. Was a big, kind of we labeled that play the tone-setting game of the play of the game that we're here to take the football back, and you can't make mistakes like that.
I know you had talked earlier in the season several times with me about Anderson in terms of his football smarts and picking up on the game, and that was a heads-up play there.
Yeah, and he's worked his tail off all off season. He wasn't a starter last year, but a great special teams player, great depth player. And when I approached him about moving the linebacker this offseason, he was all for it and put the weight on and the strength that he needed. But you still see, not only that interception, but he had a huge catch on a 3rd down towards the end of the game on a scramble play that he was in at receiver. And so you don't see too many starting inside backers playing slot receiver too, but he's just that kind of player.
That's fantastic. Let's take a look at this next play. It's a nice catch by Seaman. Big gain early in the first half of the football game.
Yeah, kind of a 3rd down. So it's not really an opportunity to take a shot, but just trying to get them give them a look that they really hadn't seen before. And the post was actually they cut the post free, but I think Gabe was kind of stuck behind Big Norris there, and he couldn't really see that, but kind of put it up there, and Luke made a great play going up. And
I love that route because you had 4 options on that side of the field, a lot for Gabe to choose from, and a lot to cover.
Yeah, and that's kind of a staple of our offense, finding ways to get to that route concept from every type of formation we can.
So staying with the defensive mindset, special teams mindset, we've got this play that we talked about earlier where Gabe rolls out and punts.
Yeah, so this is kind of our style of punt where we kind of bleed it out. They were just had their base defense in there, trying to play safe, play fakes. So when they don't rush them, we tell them, hey, just try to run is get up to the line of scrimmage to punt the ball. That allows our coverage team to get down there a little bit faster and wait for the punt to come down.
Yeah.
But man, he really dropped that one right in the corner, and we got a nice bounce right out of bounds inside. I think it was 3 or 2 yard line. It may have been the 1. I don't know.
Right. I think it was hard to tell there on the camera, but it was definitely close to the 1.
Yep.
And then when you're playing a really good defensive game, a punt like that is just so important. And then on top of it, after the week before when you ran a big fake punt, and then you do this, you're giving a lot of teams a lot to think about when it comes time to punt.
Yeah, and you like to put that stuff on tape earlier in the year, so that opens up opportunities like that play to get us. I mean, that's a big play in the game. We talk about hidden yardage. That's kind of the swing in the field position, that we're able to gain through special teams plays, and that really put us ahead of in that battle.
Yeah, and and going back to it again, like when you punt, you're usually losing some momentum. But when you punt and have a punt like that, you actually gain momentum.
Yeah.
Which is fantastic. It's what the flip side of the coin there.
Yeah, it's never fun to start inside your own 5 yard line. So that put us in a good spot to get a little momentum back.
So the next couple clips here, we're going to see some defensive line play by Aiden Norris and Trevor Burek, trying to stop this 3-back stuff. And you kind of point out some things here to us.
This is the Owen Wilson run.
Oh,
so let's roll this one.
Well, we'll watch this. This is a fun one.
Yeah. So, just base play for us. They had really done a good job stopping this play. Actually, their starting inside linebacker had got hurt the play before this. And Coach Burek, I think, saw that, and he was killing us all game, and called that play, and Owen hit the hole, and great blocking up front. And
let's replay that clip when we can too, because I wanted to. One of the things that I noticed there was he doesn't get touched until he's about 7 yards into the defense.
Yep, and this is drawn up. This runs exactly how you're supposed to. Left guard here does a great job kicking out the defensive end. We get a great wall set up from our O-line blocking through the box, and then when anytime you can get a ball onto a safety, I mean that's going to be at least a 5 to 6 yard gain for us. And then Owen Wilson's a guy that can really make a guy miss.
Yeah, he usually is hard to bring down, and coming up on a safety like that, he's going to be tough to bring down. All right, let's roll the next clip, Rob. So here's our defensive line play.
Yep. So this one is both Trevor Burek and Aiden Norris played really, really well inside. Play that one again, Rob, if you can. But watch the two big guys inside. When they went to this heavy look right here, those guys really did a great job squeezing those interior gaps and then getting off blocks and making tackles.
Yeah, I saw Norris. He got off the block while Trevor was holding. I might have been a double team there, just clogging it up, and then the two of them just collapsed on the ball carrier. It's fantastic. I think we have another play of defensive line play here.
Yep. So this one's the top interior D lineman. That's big Norris right there. And that, and then you talk about a Division I football player. Both those guys, as offensive linemen is what they're getting offered as. But that as a former Division I football coach, this is what you want to see from an offensive lineman that can get out there and be athletic enough to use their hands, get off blocks, and make tackles on the D line and be dominant like that.
Before they can get to the backers. And that really, I felt like that was a big piece of helping you guys stop some of this 3-back stuff. They didn't like the fact that you had those two big dogs in there that were causing a lot of problems. We're going to take a look at this next clip with interception in the end zone. I think this is before the half.
Yeah, so this is third down. They were driving, and so we kind of made our guys get back a little bit more, because we were tightening down to cover the run. And I think they saw that, but it was third down, so they kind of had to throw the ball. So we had our corners on an island out there. Corner kind of bit on the double move here, but this is a great job by our middle safety there, Gabe Stouffer, going over and making a great high point play. And that's experience that he's a 3-year starter at safety. So that's experience that he has, kind of understanding what they're trying to do, where that ball is going to go, and putting himself in a position to make a play.
Isn't the saying, Coach, to win the middle 8? Is that what it is?
Middle 8, yep. So
that's one play right there.
Absolutely.
It reminded me of a couple years ago when they were here, and we lost the middle 8 on a big pass play by them. We won the middle 8 there, and then you emphasized that by coming back with the run from Wilson in the second half.
Yeah, and the middle 8 is the last 4 minutes before the half and the first 4 minutes of the second half. You either want to score before the half ends or at least end with the ball without them scoring. And then we go out and we get the big run here early in the second half there to really set the tone for the game. It's a Belichick thing.
You can't argue with that. All right, so we'll take a look at our next play here, Rob. We're going to go to this play that set up the field goal. Third down, I thought Gabe made a fantastic decision getting to his open receiver, getting the yards you needed for your field goal.
Yeah, we talked about this, second down. I think we had a negative play on second down, and we just talked about, hey, let's just try to get half of this back to get in the field goal range, because Parker Dahm was really kicking it well in warm-ups, and so we got about a 7 or 8 yard gain right there to put us in a pretty good position to set up that field goal. But great job by Gabe sitting in there, going to our top guy Quinn Burek right here, and great job getting himself in a soft spot in the defense right there, and great catch with that safety or that corner driving on him from behind.
Right, and we're at this point in the game, we're a 7-3 score. And maybe a 7 yard gain there, but those little things set you up for a great field goal attempt, and great job by Parker on the next play.
Yeah. So we got Parker's been automatic this year. Left hash right here, good snap, good hold. That thing was right down the middle, had plenty of distance on it, and he's a confident kid. So.
Yeah, he might have been able to make it from further back, but
he could have.
I'm sure he liked to, especially coming from like the Browns weekend.
Yeah,
you can't count on kicks all the time, and he came through big time with ice in his veins there. We're going to move on to now we're at a 10-3 game, still a tight defensive game. They make a big pass play here, and we'll see Colton Doherty come up and just gets enough hand on the ball.
Yep. Yeah.
Just
So
run
this
this play
is towards
back.
the end of the game here. You know, they got the ball back one more time after this, but just a very timely turnover right here to get this back. You know, didn't love his, talked about this when we were watching film, didn't love his technique on the tackle, but you know, again, anytime we can get a hand on the ball, it's a great job just kind of reaching for it there. And we got to, you know, we had some fumbles ourselves in those last couple of drives, which all bounced back to us. And this one bounced right to us too. So, you know, the bounces were going our way.
The turf was in your favor.
Yeah, it was in our favor that night. And, you know, that was a huge one to get the ball back there too.
Well, sometimes, Coach, they say you make your own luck. And you had guys flying around the football. And so the ball does come out. You got a lot of people pursuing it and getting to the right spot.
Yeah.
Let's go to our next play here. We got Big Norn with a pass knockdown.
Yeah, big play in the game. This is kind of on that last drive right there. You know, we're dropping back, trying to make sure nothing gets over our head. Their quarterback did a great job trying to check it down to the running back right here. And, you know, that 7'2" wingspan that he has really paid off right there. That's why they want those guys in there. Yeah.
You're right. And you can see that back head. He had some room to run. If he could have leaked it out.
He did. Yeah, he probably would have got 15 or 20 yards right there. Because that back, that's good little back, man. He's quick and he's powerful too.
And then we're going to seal the game. Where Seaman's going to come up with a end of the game interception.
Yep. So he missed some opportunities at the end of the game against the Lions, right? He's supposed to be, you know, in a certain spot on the field.
Yeah.
Right. And, you know, he kind of waited where he was supposed to be. And quarterback held onto the ball for a little bit too long. And he was able to read his eyes and go get that thing.
The part that I really liked, and I know you coached this, is he took his coaching. He was smart here, and he got down.
Yeah. Again, a guy that has a lot of experience. And we practice these situations where, hey, it's the end of the game. We got this much time left. You know, all right. We got to turn it, you know, we took the ball back. What do we got to do? You know, selfish play would be to go try to score a touchdown and maybe give the other team an opportunity to get the ball back by a fumble or something like that. But that's a senior right there, a leader that very unselfish play to get down right there. And then we take a knee to seal the game.
Yeah, that was great. I mean, that speaks volumes for their commitment to their team. You know, it's not about me, it's about we. And that showed right there. So, Coach, that sums up. That was a fun game to watch. It was exciting. Home opener. Puts you guys at 3-0. You got things moving. I know you talk about continuing to focus on yourself, working on getting better every day. And now this week we're moving to Marlington. Yeah. So tell us a little bit about this week, what we're looking at.
Yeah, Marlington 2-1 coming into this game. Two good victories. You know, they probably have the best player that we've seen in the Evanich kid, number 11, their wide receiver, just a dynamic player that they try to get him the ball in many different ways. So, you know, we got to find a way to you know, hold him and you know, not let him beat us and make them do other things that you know, to take their strengths away. But they, you know, they got a good defense. They fly it around. They're similar to these last two teams we played in Alliance and Northwest, where they're, you know, they'll blitz. They kind of create some chaos right there, try to create some confusion, and they got guys that run and tackle really, really well. So, you know, we got to keep learning from our mistakes that we've had, and we gotta be able to run the ball better this week.
How are we in terms of health coming out of last week?
Good. No significant injuries, just some normal bumps and bruises. The guys are battling through, and but yeah, we have nobody that's out right now. So
it's hard to believe that we're moving into week 4.
Yeah,
getting close to the halfway mark of the season. Yeah, and that's great to be healthy at this point.
Yeah, it is, and you know, again, testament to our strength and conditioning program throughout all the off season, and then what we're doing in season 2. You know, pretty much all our players are in our weight training class that Coach Kwasnicka runs a phenomenal program that is, you know, full body based and making sure we're getting the recovery that we need. We got a great plan for practice every day on, you know, how much, what type of volume our players are, how long we're on the field for, how many plays we're running, you know, what. You know, we got to, like, early in the week, we're trying to get more deep balls thrown. So as the week goes on, we're not.
Rest the legs.
Yeah, we're resting the legs a little bit, and so, you know, we've been sticking to that plan, and I think that's really paying off. The guys have bought into that too, especially with their lifting. throughout the week.
It helps them in a routine. They know what to
Mm-hmm.
expect. They know how to prepare their bodies. Keeps them fresh and ready for Friday night. Coach, doing a great job. It's an exciting time here in Louisville football. A lot of fun moving into week 4. Wishing you the best of luck and continue to grind and push forward. Continue to play that stellar defense and the offense moving and controlling the line of scrimmage. Just appreciate you having you on the show. And thank you for being here tonight.
Oh, thanks. Want to see everybody from Louisville up in
Yes,
Marlington this Friday.
Pack the stands. It's a short drive.
Yeah.
It's going to be a nice
Great
fall
venue,
evening.
yeah.
It's you don't get a lot of great evenings like the one coming up this Friday night.
Absolutely.
Sit out in the country and watch a football game.
That's right.
Fantastic. All right. Well, thanks again for joining us for Kappas Coaches Corner on your sports network, YSN Live. We'll see you next week.
YSN thanks you for watching this presentation of Your Sports Network. For stories, stats, and more, go to ysnlive.com.